Your landscape. Come to Merrifield Garden Center. We know plants.
Good morning, America. Breaking news. New concerns as dangerous winds grow, fueling those wildfires raging out of control in Northern California, scorching more than 115,000 acres. New evacuations ordered overnight. Thousands of homes and businesses destroyed, neighborhoods completely wiped out, only chimneys left standing. The death toll rising now. Firefighters trying to battle the blaze and the new red flag warnings this morning.
Show of force. Overnight, U.S. bombers conducting military drills over the Korean peninsula as tensions rise with the rogue nation. The new reports North Korea stole our top secret war plans from South Korea.
Explosive new allegations against Harvey Weinstein, the disgraced media mogul now accused of rape, in a bombshell new report, and the secret police recording where he reveals he groped a model.
I'm going to take a shower. You sit there and have a drink.
Two of Hollywood's biggest stars, Gwyneth Paltrow and Angelina Jolie, have come forward with their stories as two of his accusers join us live right here on GMA.
In soccer shocker, Team USA out of the World Cup for the first time in more than 30 years. The heartbreaking goal that one player says will haunt him forever. Why some are calling this the worst loss in American sports history.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And good morning, America. Boy, that was a shocker, Michael. For the first time in a generation, no World Cup for the U.S. men.
My house is in mourning.
Yes, Andrew,
Andrew's
sure
very upset.
He's trying to sleep it off.
Yeah, he is. That's a good thing. Exactly.
We'll have more on that ahead, but first, those catastrophic wildfires in California.
And take a look at the destruction and people are coming home to. Some say it looks like the apocalypse.
It really does. And the saddest news of it all, at least 17 wildfires still burning across the state, most in North California. But a dangerous one also tearing through Anaheim. At least 17 people have been killed so far, and there are new mandatory evacuations issued for parts of Sonoma and Napa counties overnight. More than 2,000 structures, homes, hotels, wineries, all destroyed.
And it's not just the flames that are so dangerous. Wind, smoke also causing emergencies. Our senior national correspondent Matt Gutman starts us off in the devastated town of Santa Rosa. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, George. Those fires again on the march tonight, and overnight, just over the past couple of hours, that fresh batch of evacuation orders. We've seen thousands of people on the road, on the move, and this is what they're so afraid of coming home to, George. These images now seared in our brain, these husks of cars, the melted metal everywhere you look. And of course, the scene of scorched earth, block after block of incinerated homes. And so many of these places, the only thing left standing are those chimneys.
As firefighters continue to defend downtown Santa Rosa from the onslaught of flames from the ground and from the air, residents taking stock of all they have lost here in the heart of California wine country.
A lot of people lost a lot of houses. We lost businesses, big buildings, small buildings. I feel for you. I apologize. It was a very difficult night.
All around this morning, the haunting ruins of what was. Cars immolated. This vehicle melted into an aluminum puddle.
Personally, I think it'll be one of the worst disasters in California history.
The fire's now claiming at least 17 lives across the state.
It's with sorrow that I tell you today that we have confirmed 2 fatalities. Charles and Sarah Rippey.
The couple had been together for 75 years. In Napa County, one winery owner returning to the remains of his building, he says he watched the flames engulf the property using a security camera app on his phone. And back here in Santa Rosa, newly homeless residents returning to places where memories were built, now crumbled. And it was amidst that rubble that we found Brady Harville in the house he grew up in.
What are you supposed to do? Yeah, everybody you've ever known, everybody I grew up with, everybody's house is gone. It's absolutely nuts.
And in the Iraq war vet's palm, that sliver of steel.
Your personal dog tags?
Yeah, the ones I deployed with. They're like all burned up now.
Wow.
After I deployed, I gave them to my dad, and he had them hanging in his man cave.
So out of an entire house and a lifetime of contents, this is the most important thing.
Yeah, for me, yeah. Anyways, I spent 12 months of my life in Iraq wearing these things. Mean a lot to me.
You got goosebumps right now.
Yeah, I do. It's crazy. It's mind-blowing.
According to officials, more than 180 people remain missing this morning. One of them had been Steve Liner. We met his brother, Al, who was getting desperate.
I mean, are you worried about him?
Very, yeah. Yeah.
So we drove him in.
Well, I've called him a number of times. I've gone up to the VA to see if he's checked in at the VA. I've gone on Facebook and posted some stuff on Facebook.
Destruction everywhere, but not on his brother's street.
Is that him?
That's him. Man, I've been looking for 2 days for you guys.
Now, sheriff's officials tell me they expect to find most, but not all of those missing people. They do expect the death toll to rise. That is the state of California is asking for reinforcements of firefighters from out of state. That's how strapped they are. But a sliver of good news, guys. You might remember Chris Pond. We saw her yesterday digging through the rubble. She was looking for her wedding ring. She was crying hysterically. Well, she just Facebooked us this morning telling us that she found that ring. So, wow, a bit of good news this morning.
Tiny bit of encouragement there, but what a wasteland there in Santa Rosa.
It's heartbreaking to look at those images, but heartwarming to see those brothers reconnect with each other. So that's part of the great news about it. But these fires, they're still burning strong this morning. Most of them are barely contained. And let's go to Ginger for the latest fire forecast. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning, Michael. You know, we had a brief break yesterday as far as how making the fires more manageable to fight because the winds were lower, but it is not going to happen. Going through this afternoon, through tomorrow, and even Saturday, red flag warnings in place for much of Northern California. There's a fire weather watch. That's for later in the week for Southern California. It's because of the winds. Those are going to gust again after a cold front passed through. More to the north and northwest. You can see even Santa Rosa gusting to almost 40 there, and that's this afternoon and evening. Then by Friday, that front makes it to Southern California. Humidity's low. Winds kick up. This is not good, guys.
Boy, it sure is not okay, Ginger. Stay on top of it. We're going to move now to that escalating tension with North Korea. Overnight, U.S. bombers conducted military drills over the North Korean peninsula as questions swirled about North Korea stealing sensitive war plans from South Korea. Our chief global affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz, in Washington with the latest. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, George. The tension between the U.S. and North Korea is relentless. Every day it seems more alarming news, and this morning's is so disturbing. We know the U.S. and South Korea have updated war planning in the last few months, doing lots of secret simulations and exercises, but now reports that North Korea hacked into those classified plans through the South Korean military computer network. This, according to a South Korean lawmaker who said those stolen plans include details about how Kim Jong-un would be removed from power. It's called a decapitation plan if war breaks out on the Korean peninsula. George?
And Martha, we're seeing these bombing drills pretty repetitively right now, a way to maintain the pressure on North Korea, keep them contained.
Yeah, you know, the Secretaries of State and Defense insist that the U.S. is on a diplomatic track, but I would call this coercive diplomacy because we've all heard those fiery threats from the president and seen this repeated show of force, which certainly does send a strong message. George?
Right, and you've got the president saying diplomacy cannot work here. Okay, Martha Raddatz, thanks very much. Amy?
All right, George, and now to those explosive new allegations about Harvey Weinstein. Stars like Gwyneth Paltrow and Angelina Jolie coming forward saying they also received unwanted sexual advances from the movie mogul. And now stunning secretly recorded audio of Weinstein urging an actress to go into his hotel room has emerged. And ABC's Lindsay Davis is here with the latest on this growing scandal. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Amy. Nearly 30 accusers and counting. In less than a week, Harvey Weinstein has lost his job, his respect, and now his wife. We're talking about a man who has been thanked more than God at the Academy Awards, and now scathing words for Harvey Weinstein, including from the board of the company he founded, calling his alleged action antithetical to human decency.
The explosive new allegations against Harvey Weinstein now include rape and the audio tape in which the media mogul himself admits to touching an Italian model without her consent.
I'm going to take a shower. You sit there and have a drink.
The recording, obtained by The New Yorker and verified by ABC News, was part of a sting operation by the New York police.
Yesterday you touched my breast.
Oh, please, I'm sorry. Just come on. I'm used to that. Come on.
Are you used to that?
Yes, come in.
You can hear the woman say no to Weinstein 12 times.
I mean, the number of times this woman says she is uncomfortable, that she wants to leave, is upsetting to listen to, obviously. And then, of course, there's also the very significant fact that he concedes that this conduct took place and describes it as something he is used to.
According to the Manhattan DA's office, the case was never prosecuted because the audio was insufficient to prove a crime under New York law. The author of the New Yorker account says multiple executives and assistants described a familiar pattern of behavior and a culture of complicity. And 3 women, including actress Asia Argento, say they were raped by Weinstein or forced to perform sex acts. And in a new New York Times article, 2 of Hollywood's biggest stars add their names to the growing list of accusers. Gwyneth Paltrow says early on in her career, Weinstein summoned her to his suite for a work meeting and placed his hands on her, then suggested they head to the bedroom for massages. "I was a kid. I was petrified," she told the Times. "I thought he was going to fire me." Paltrow says she told her then-boyfriend Brad Pitt, who confronted Weinstein, telling him never to touch Paltrow again. Years later, she thanked him at the Academy Awards.
I would like to thank Harvey Weinstein.
Angelina Jolie also told the paper that Weinstein made unwanted advances toward her in a hotel room in the late 90s. "I had a bad experience with Harvey Weinstein in my youth, and as a result, chose never to work with him again and warn others when they did." Nearly 30 women now say they have been harassed, assaulted, or raped by Weinstein, among them this screenwriter.
After about 30 minutes, he asked to excuse himself and go to the bathroom. He returned in nothing but a robe with the front open, and he was buck naked.
A-listers, including leading men whose careers Weinstein helped make,
Harvey Weinstein, who believed in us and made this movie,
now lining up to condemn him. Ben Affleck calling his alleged actions sick. And in another interview, Matt Damon adding, "This is the kind of sexual predation that keeps me up at night." And now Weinstein's wife of 10 years, fashion designer Georgina Chapman, is also backing away, saying in a statement to People magazine, "My heart breaks for all the women who have suffered tremendous pain because of these unforgivable actions. I have chosen to leave my husband."
Weinstein did not respond to requests for comment, but his spokesperson gave a statement to the New Yorker saying any allegations of non-consensual sex are unequivocally denied by Mr. Weinstein. Mr. Weinstein has further confirmed that there were never any acts of retaliation against any women for refusing his advances.
Lindsay, we are also hearing from Weinstein's own brother, who has some very harsh words for him.
Right, and Bob's been his partner throughout all of their success throughout Hollywood, but now he has some harsh words telling TMZ, "My brother Harvey is obviously a very sick man. I've urged him to seek immediate professional help because he is in dire need of it. His remorse and apologies to the victims of his abuse are hollow," adding he has proven himself to be a world-class liar, and now rather than seeking help, he is looking to blame others. I pray he gets the help that he needs. You know, and Weinstein has been condemned by the Obamas, by Hillary Clinton, by his friends. It's got to be especially harsh coming from his brother.
Yes, indeed. Lindsay, thanks so much.
Just brutal. Okay, Lindsay, thanks very much. We have new details now about last week's mass shooting in Las Vegas. As we learn more about how the gunman got that arsenal into his hotel room, his girlfriend and brother are facing new scrutiny. Our chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross here with the latest. Good morning, Brian.
Well, good morning, George. As the FBI continues to press the shooter's longtime girlfriend for more details on Stephen Paddock, she's been placed on a U.S. government travel watch list as a key witness, so the authorities will be notified if she tries to board a flight or leave the country. According to federal law enforcement authorities, Mary Lou Danley has been designated a selectee by the TSA based on her potential importance to investigators. She has denied knowing what her live-in boyfriend of 3 years was up to in the house they shared. But one senior law enforcement official told ABC News they want to make sure Danley, an Australian citizen, doesn't suddenly decide to leave the country. Authorities also say they are keeping a close eye on Paddock's brother Eric, who is now in Las Vegas. He too has said he had no idea what his brother was planning.
We're still just completely befuddled.
He reportedly cannot find a funeral home to deal with his brother's body. More than a week after the shooting, investigators still have many questions for the Mandalay Bay Hotel. Authorities tell ABC News that Paddock, as a high roller, was allowed use of the service elevators and that he used them to bring his cases of weapons to his 32nd floor suite, avoiding the security checks in place in the front lobby. And questions remain about whether the hotel failed to act quickly enough after a hotel security guard called in to say he had been shot in the hallway through the door some 6 minutes before the concert rampage began.
In those 6 minutes, you may have been able to create a disruption of some sort that would have kept him from doing what he ultimately did.
The owner of the Mandalay Bay, MGM, would not answer any of our questions, citing the ongoing investigation. And behind the scenes, the FBI and the Las Vegas sheriff are apparently not getting along all that well, with some agents complaining the sheriff has put obstacles in the way of their investigation. No comment, George, this morning from the FBI or the sheriff's office.
A lot of questions left to answer. Okay, Brian, thanks very much.
All right, and some really special and emotional moments in Las Vegas last night as the city's new hockey team, the Golden Knights, played their first home game. They honored all of those first responders from the shooting rampage by escorting each and every one of them onto the ice as their names were called. The team also paid tribute to the victims by holding a moment of silence for 58 seconds, 1 second for each life lost. And the team tweeted an image of the ceremony saying, "Tonight, Vegas showed what it was made of. Vegas strong." All around that rink instead of where advertising typically is, and it certainly was a powerful moment.
Well-deserved moment for them, for the first responders. And we're going to turn now to the NFL and the battle over the national anthem. Owners are now considering a rule change forcing players to stand. The debate kicked in high gear again this week after the vice president left the game early when some players knelt. ABC's TJ Holmes is here with more. Good morning, TJ.
Well, Strahan, it seems the NFL owners might now be ready to take a stand on the issue, and theirs is stand up. And this would not come in the form of a request to the players. It would be possibly a new rule.
The NFL wants all players on their feet for the national anthem and might not give them a choice in the matter. After weeks of demonstrations in which some players sat or knelt, the league is now considering a new rule forcing all players to stand for the anthem or face penalties. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell sent a letter to team owners yesterday saying, "We believe that everyone should stand for the national anthem. We need to move past this controversy." Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys, who knelt with his team before the anthem earlier this season, this week put his players on notice. Stand for the anthem or sit for the game.
I had hoped that this issue would kind of subside and go away. If you do not honor and stand for the flag, then you won't play.
The White House backed that ultimatum.
I think we would certainly support the NFL coming out and asking players to stand, just as the president has done.
President Trump tweeted his approval. A big salute to Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, who will bench players who disrespect our flag. Goodell, who initially said he was proud of our league for the demonstrations, now acknowledges the current dispute over the national anthem is threatening to erode the unifying power of our game and is now dividing us and our players from many fans across the country. The protests have sharply divided the country. One poll shows 43% of Americans say kneeling during the anthem is the right thing to do. 49% say it's wrong.
And the NFL owners are meeting next week, and they are going to discuss this, so we'll see what happens. And straight, we were talking about this already in the book, the handbook, right? It says that players should stand for the anthem. They're harping on that word, should. It doesn't say must. So right now it's a suggestion and not a rule, and they could change just some language to make everybody stand.
They really think the president's going to push through this taking away the tax deduction?
Well, I mean, they already lost their tax. It's not even a big issue. They gave it up a couple of years ago, so that's not even a big issue at this point anymore.
All right, TJ, thank you very much. Let's go back now to Ginger with more on that fire forecast out west.
Just as we see some of the pictures coming in from the Sonoma sheriff, this is what it looked like inside, driving through those fires, and they're still happening now. We've got a lot of dry air and more winds coming at us. The humidity down to less than 10% by the end of the week. Chili City is brought to you by Gain Now.
Fred would do anything for his daughter.
Get in, Fred.
Even if it means being the back half of a unicorn. Fear not, Fred. The front half washed the shirt with Gain. And that smell puts the giddy in giddy up. Ah, the irresistible scent of Gain Flings laundry detergent. You can't help but smell happy.
Some wet weather to kick off our day, so you might need the umbrella on your way out, especially in southeast Maryland. Some of those showers will linger through this afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies for today. Bus stop forecast by dismissal, expecting those temperatures in the low 70s, and we are going to feel just a little bit on the humid side. Cooling off for the later half of the week. We're in the 60s tomorrow, low 70s on Friday with cloud cover. But by the later half of the weekend, that sunshine returns and also the warmth. Notice that daytime high back in the low 80s.
Of Harvey Weinstein's accusers, join us live right here on GMA.
Hela, the goddess of death, has invaded Asgard.